In contrast to advanced cameras, which can't record more photographs when the memory card is full, the human mind's account limit doesn't appear to diminish by any stretch of the imagination. However, it is hard to see the boundless chronicle capacity of the human cerebrum. Nervous system specialists attempted to quantify the mind's ability for quite a while. In any case, the psychological aptitudes of individuals who achieve unfathomable things with their memory offer astounding outcomes. A large portion of us experience difficulty retaining even a telephone number. How about we recollect a number with thousands? Be that as it may, 24-year-old understudy Chinese Cao Lu broke the world record in 2005 by retaining 67.980 of the pi number. Some virtuosos can remember everything, from names to dates, to the most itemized and point-by-point visual data. It is once in a while feasible for solid individuals to turn into this after a mishap. 10-year-old Orlando Cyril began retaining incalculable vehicle tags after a hit to one side of his head with a polished ash, telling the date of 10 years prior. So in what capacity can these individuals surpass the memory limit of a normal cerebrum? What do these realities tell about the genuine limit of the human cerebrum? Teaching the cerebrum our memory limit relies upon the physiological structure of the mind. The cerebrum is comprised of 100 billion nerve cells, neurons. Just a single billion of them assume a job in long-haul memory. These are called pyramidal cells. Expecting that a neuron relates to a unit of memory, our mind ought to have been totally filled. Brain science teacher Paul Reba states that memory isn't as large as the quantity of neurons and will be filled right away. Consequently, scientists accept that memory happens in associations between neurons. Arranged associations from every neuron arrive at a huge number of other nerve cells. Along these lines, Reba brings up that his memory limit has expanded fundamentally, opening up huge amounts of space. So are the minds of individuals with uncommon memory limit remarkable? No. Individuals like Lu, who retain the quantity of pi, state they are typical. They just train their minds to recollect chosen data. Memory Castle US memory champion Nelson Dellis says he had a terrible memory before keeping an eye on this issue, yet the circumstance has changed through training. Following half a month of preparing, you're beginning to accomplish something that appears to be difficult to the typical individual. However, we as a whole have this ability, he says. When Dellis began mind preparing years back, it took 20 minutes to remember the request for a deck of playing a game of cards. Today he does it in 30 seconds. Be that as it may, for this he completes 5 hours of memory practices a day. One of the tried strategies utilized by Dellis is to manufacture a memory royal residence. For this, he depicts a structure he knows well overall. He considers what he needs to recall as pictures, and puts it on the table close to his fantasy entryway. At that point he goes to the kitchen table, and so on. You are communicating the pictures that you fantasy about entering and leaving that structure as remembering things, he says. Pi number memorizers likewise utilize comparative techniques, for example, memory royal residence or transforming a progression of numbers into a sentence of the story. Associated thinking. The across-the-board accomplishment of these memory procedures builds up the possibility that anybody can do this on the off chance that they consider it. Be that as it may, should it be possible without taking such a long time on Mind Exercise Center? Alan Snyder from Sydney College is focusing on this. He says that with the correct innovation, it is conceivable to uncover the information inside us. As per Snyder, the human cerebrum isn't acting through minor subtleties, however through associated thinking. We know about the entire, not the parts that make up the entire, he says. For instance, in one investigation, he requested that the members retain a shopping rundown of vehicle parts, never referenced the word car to them, however totally referenced it car. They consolidated the parts and framed the entire, Snyder clarifies. At the end of the day, numerous information that our faculties transmit to the cerebrum are not really cognizant. However, in talented individuals, this profoundly associated reasoning doesn't become an integral factor, so they recollect innumerable subtleties. For instance, recalling the shopping list, singular lights, wipers, windshield and so on. They recollect. In view of these, they don't embrace the vehicle association right away. Information download speed beginning from the Searle test, which was changed with the stick blow he assumed the left half of his head. Snyder attempted to discover which part of the mind capacities and recollecting innumerable data thusly. The front sanctuary flap on the left ear was a contender for this. In chemical imbalance and talent condition, this district got broken in dementia patients with aesthetic aptitudes that showed up later. Snyder takes note of that when subjects incidentally hinder neural action around there in their cerebrum, their capacity to draw, tally, and discover botches has expanded. Albeit a few analysts are suspicious of this information, there is a developing enthusiasm for the incitement of the cerebrum. Reba from Northwestern College makes the accompanying similarity about the mind. The constraint of human memory isn't about the hard circle limit of the PC, yet the information download speed. The issue isn't the stuffing of the mind, is that the speed of data coming to it is a lot higher than that of the memory framework.